What's going on this Sunday? Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Tennessee baseball goes down to Baton Rouge and is mercifully run ruled today. And what was a good start, but a really rough finish on the day. Make sure you hit the like, the share, the subscribe. Appreciate all your support. Getting close to 4,000. So if you've if you like the content, you have not subscribed, it is free. Hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate your support. Pretty much the culmination of an interesting weekend. Of course, we know what happened Friday night. For those of you who sit up and watched it, Tennessee goes to the ninth inning up 3-0. Couple errors, and then LSU hits a walk-off bomb and walks it up, wins it 6-3. Again, Nate Snead gave up 6 runs in the ninth, and none of them were earned. But still, here's my thing with it. We can sit here and say all day long you give guys extra outs. Yeah, absolutely. You give them at least one, if not a couple extra outs there. But still, after the errors, that's where, and I get it. I get it. You make the plays, you're out of that with a win. But Snead's been struggling for a few weeks. And I don't care if the runs were earned or not. Still, after the errors happened, he didn't make the pitch. He got nailed. He got shelled. And they once again left him in when it's pretty evident he didn't have it. And, here's where I'm at right now. I'm looking pretty bad on something I said. I said earlier in the season, this is going to be the best pitching staff of the Vitello era. I was right on all of that I said, except for one thing. We might be getting close to changing best to worst right now, because outside of Liam Doyle, who was phenomenal again, deserved the win Friday night. Marcus Phillips was great yesterday. Besides that, nobody's getting the job done. That's just the bottom line. Not a single guy other than those two. And Phillips, of course, had a couple rough outings, but he still 8 innings in those outings. He's still 8 innings, so it wasn't like he was awful. It just wasn't. He had set some precedent, but he was really good yesterday. Even with 4 walks, he was still really good. And, a big thing, too, was LSU wasn't running wild on him. That was a big improvement for me. So I take something out of that. But our bullpen right now is rough. It's nobody's getting the job done outside. To me, not a single guy outside of Doyle and Phillips are getting the job done right now. And again, with Phillips, I mean, he had a couple, at least by the standards he set this year. He set it. Now, A.J. Russell, I'm not really including him. Yeah, he gave up a couple runs today, and that's fine. That's the first ones that he's given up. He was going to give them up at some point. So he's on a pitch count. I don't know that I really look at him. Vitello went today, though, and I talked about this earlier in the week, that once he went Breedlove and Sharman, both 3 innings each, he's priming them for the weekend. Well, it didn't go too well. Sharman comes in, 2 batters, and he's out. He gives up a home run. He's a midweek guy. I don't think we need to see him on the weekends, because his job really is to come in, eat innings, and he's not even getting through an inning. Then you had Coons come in, went 1 1/3, gave up 3 hits. I mean, he gave up a bomb on it. To me, in that at bat where he gave up the bomb, what got him was his fastballs down the middle today, and that's his best pitch is a slider. Been told that for a fact, that his best pitch is his slider. Yet we don't even call it. Somebody's got to explain that one to me. Yet the guy who hit the 3-run bomb off of him, the 2 pitches prior, he fouled him off and made pretty good contact. At that point, you've got to change it up. We've seen this. So a guy's getting his timing on it, and then they come up and in a little bit, and the dude just crushed it. Pitch calling, I think I don't like the pitch calling this year, or at least lately. I've not liked it. We've got to use our secondary pitches, just because this is SEC college baseball. Guys at this level can hit the high 90s if you throw it down the middle to them. A lot of your in your areas, like when I coached in the Columbia, South Carolina area, those dudes are going to be able to hit mid-90s if you throw it down the middle to them. I watched them do it on a regular basis. You've got to mix in the secondary pitches, and we've got guys who's got good secondary stuff, yet we're being stubborn and we're sticking to the fastball. And against a team like LSU, who is always going to have talent, if you're throwing fastballs right down the middle to them, they're going to hit them. And, I get the thing they say Frank Anderson likes to challenge hitters. There's a such thing, too, called insanity, where you keep doing the same thing over and over and it doesn't work. Maybe you need to change something up. That was the thing with Chase Burns a couple years ago. When Chase Burns went to the bullpen, I mean, he had the one rough outing against South Carolina that I watched where he got hammered. Started using more of his secondary stuff when he went to the bullpen. Of course, he's throwing 100 miles per hour, too. When they started mixing him up is when he became effective on it. We're going to have to mix these. We've got to mix some up here as well. Too many fastballs against too many good teams. And you don't play a bad team in SEC play really the whole year, and definitely not the rest of the way. So we got to figure out something. I think there's a lot. Again, I'm looking pretty bad now on this looked like when I said the best pitching staff of the Vitello era. Maybe it still can be. Now, we've seen things happen over the years. The good thing about it is, I mean, we're still sitting here pretty good shape overall. We've got 3 series left. None of them, if you don't bring it, you could lose all 3 of them. Auburn, who swept LSU, a couple weekends ago? Vanderbilt comes to town, and then at Arkansas to end the season. So, you could play your way out of possibly being a super regional host these next 3 weeks, or you could play your way into, you want to be in that top 8. And the way Tennessee's going now, I think they'll drop a little bit. But, I mean, that's why Friday night was so important. All right, you get that Friday night game. You took care of business last night. Today doesn't matter as much. But due to the same stuff that's been happening over and over again Friday night, the Curly errors, Curly DH'd again the rest of the weekend. And I'll say this, too. I still think when it's all said and done, Curly, we still need him out in the field. Curly's still one of the best players on this baseball team. He's struggling, right? He's really struggling in the field. I still think we're better off with him over at third. I think he makes for an ideal third baseman. It's just not worked for him recently. Of course, Antigua at short, Keelan, Fisher. I mean, it's we're pretty close. The DH is going to be the one that, because Bargo's going to be in, of course, Inslee, Chapman, Peebles. To me, this team, and this is really the comparison I had before the season. This is going to resemble more 2023. I had people trying to tell me this offense is going to be not far off from last year's. That was one of the best offenses in college baseball history last year. I've watched enough Tennessee baseball. I've watched these teams each year in and out. This offense is nowhere even close to last year's, and it never was going to be. Yeah, it was doing it against lesser competition earlier in the year. It did it a little bit to start SEC play. They're kind of hitting a path now where they're still decent. It's still a decent offense. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad one. And you go through those games where you get shut down some. I don't really have a big problem with the offense. They're going to hit. They're still going to hit, but they're not the 2024 offense either. Biggest thing right now for this team is the defense and the pitching. And, again, there's 2 guys you trust. I mean, Loy, I know Loy's gotten hit a little bit in SEC. Who's not going to get hit in SEC play? I mean, come on, man. Every weekend, these hitters that you're playing for every team, I mean, just look up and down the top 25 and see how many SEC teams that you play. Any pitcher is going to give up some runs in SEC play. Doyle's giving them up to him, and Doyle's been one of the best pitchers in all of college baseball this year. But we've got to figure out something on Sunday. Do they continue to stretch Russell out? Is that the way they're going to go with it? But the big concern to me is, and I think there's talent. Just get guys off the top of my head. Snead, Franklin, Coons. Of course, Krenzel's been out with illness last 2 weekends. Hopefully you get him back next weekend. Loy, all those guys, there's talent on this baseball team. You know, Banky pitched a little bit today, gave up no runs. Arvidsson's biggest issue is the walks. I mean, like today, he goes 1 inning, no hits, 3 walks. And he had a big outing come in and relieve Coons with runners on second, third, nobody out, got 2 strikeouts, and I think it was a ground out. But then the next inning he's in, he gives up the 3 walks, and he gets himself into trouble there. There's talent here. Like I said, just looking at it today, not counting Russell because he's still working his way back, but Coons, Arvidsson, Franklin, I think Banky can be a help down the line. I started to think maybe Breedlove. He had a run. I mean, he went no innings today. 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk on the day. And, of course, Crabtree come in, relieved him, went 1/3, and LSU walked him off. But, we've got issues right now. This team has got issues. But the good thing about it is, number one, I do trust this Pitt coaching staff to get it right. Number two, it is April. It's not May. It's not June yet. So, we're pretty good in that regard. I mean, like last night, Loy, 2 1/3 innings, gave up the 1 run. That's pretty good baseball. I'll take that all day long. Friday night in that one, I mean, of course, Liam Doyle, 6 2/3, 1 hit. Tanner Franklin just went 1/3. And then Snead went 1 2/3, 4 hits, 6 runs. None of them were earned is the crazy thing. But still yet, there were 4 hits. So regardless of whether there were errors or not, and again, those errors, yes, you give a good team like LSU more at bats, it's going to cost you. You still got to make the pitches, though. And based on what it looked like to me, and correct me if I'm wrong on it, it's mainly fastballs. We're too fastball heavy just because you can throw high 90s like Snead, or he can throw up mid 90s or hit 95, 96. These guys are going to hit it if you don't mix in the pitches. I don't think our pitch selection or our pitch calls are helping out our guys a whole lot. You guys know I love Tony Vitello and this pitcher and this coaching staff. I do. Right now, though, they've got to circle the wagons. They've got to go figure out what they're doing. I mean, again, you make the plays Friday night. This is a different outcome today. But with the way Friday night ended, then today, it really magnified a tough weekend. So these, again, the bottom line is it's not May. It's not June. There's still time to fix it. You still got 3 tough opponents to finish the season in SEC play before you move to Hoover. And then you move on to the NCAA tournament as well. If you're going to struggle, it's good to do it now and not do it a month down the line. But this coaching staff's got some work ahead of them. So they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. They've done it before. I do trust that they'll do it again. And I trust that when it's all said and done, will this team make it back to Omaha or repeat? I don't know. They've got some flaws, but championships aren't won in April. They're won in June. We got a ways to go on it. This is Frank, House of Orange. I'm going to record. There is some basketball portal news out there, and I'm going to record something in a few minutes. Of course, wasn't much over the weekend, really. Not much at all, really, on basketball. There might be a little bit of football, and I may try to hit something if I have time on that tonight, but definitely basketball here in just a few. But have a great rest of your evening. Frank, House of Orange. Last but not least, go Vols.